Hey everybody, welcome to Transport Fever 2. My name is Charlie, and I'm a screw up. All right, we have a lot of things to fix in this video, if you can't tell by the title. I just like to go into this video by saying that when I do research to play a game, especially one that's been around for a while, usually this is only really applies to things that's been around for a while. I'll learn the broad basics, right? I'll learn the mechanics, how different systems relate to each other, at least on, sort of the macro scale of things. And then every once in a while, this game included, if it's a particularly complicated game, I'll just probe in on a couple YouTubers, find somewhere in the middle of their series and stuff, and just sort of see, how did you lay out your cities? How did you lay out your roads? What does your rail network look like, etc.? Just to kind of see stylistics so that I know what works, kind of, what maybe wouldn't work, and also kind of to get myself an idea of how I can be stylistically different than others, okay? That's it. That's all the research I do on these when I play these for the first time. So these tiny little micro details that I'm about to present in this video, these are things that you have to learn kind of the hard way. And that's what I've done. I've kind of learned it the hard way. Now, thankfully, over time, we're still profitable. I've had time paused actually for quite a while as far as like the date. So if I take a look at my finances, it's kind of been locked into the same date usually. But I've noticed pretty consistently anyway that my roads are not profitable. For a while there, I guess railroads weren't either. I don't know if that's because of maybe I'm laying lots of tracks maybe, or infrastructure. I don't know. It goes up and down. But either way, I'm making money. And I've actually, in addition, have just paid off $3 million of my debt. So I'm only $7 million in debt now. We might go ahead and take out that loan again. I don't know. But it is 1901 now. And hopefully by the end of this video, I will be able to get to why that's significant. But we have a lot to cover before that. So let's get started. First things first. Food is the trigger that made me think about things more in depth, because food, well, let's put it this way. I had some people, I don't know where it was, I don't know what happened. I was talking about this on Discord earlier. They just decided to chuck 320 food into the harbor. It just disappeared. There was 300 food here. It's gone now. It just poof, gone. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty confident that we didn't ship 300 food in less than a year. I'm pretty sure I didn't load up 300 food, not in less than a year, in one boat. I didn't do that. It just vanished like before my eyes. I watched it tick out and I'm going, why am I losing food? Why are you throwing, it's like the Boston bread sink event or something, And I also saw a similar phenomenon happening with oil. For a little bit there, oil was pretty much being exclusively given to Stone and Food, despite the fact that Stone and Food only had 2 boats. And so this harbor started to fill up with oil. And hardly anything was being given to Riverloop. All these bins here were actually sitting on this one. And Riverloop uses this one, Final Goods uses this one, and the Stone and Food uses this one. And so I couldn't figure that. I'm like, why in the world are they giving all the oil? All 3 of these routes are supposed to have oil, but they're only giving oil to one route. Trying to figure that out. Why is it doing that? So we had some in Final Goods. It wasn't like a lot, but there was some in Final Goods too. So I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm working at this, and I'm seeing also the food, right? Because I said food is prompting my thought on this. Well, I lost a ton of I lost a ton of bread. I guess food, bread, etc. Food. But I'm also noticing that I have lots of grain in here, and it says via West Jordan transfer. So I'm sitting here thinking, does that mean I've got 338 grain en route? That sounds like a lot. I don't think I have enough vehicles for that to even be possible. And indeed, I've done the math, and I do not have enough vehicles on the road to make that possible. Despite having lots of vehicles, many of these are doing other things that are not related to food, but most of them are bringing food back and forth. The thing is, half of them are going this way, half of them are going that way. And so even if I could count every single tiny one of these little dots and say, okay, +6 on all of these, yeah, probably still not going to get to 338. So what's going on here? All right, here's the problem. My mindset for a lot of games is that I'm in control, to some extent, of the means of production and consumption. In this game, I'm not. You're actually not in control of production and consumption in this game. Instead, They are producers. They make deals with consumers that they can reach, and you are the one enabling them to reach their customers. And so they will create goods when they can reach a customer for those goods. You are simply the person moving it. And that means you don't control where shit goes. You control how it gets there, which is very different, and I wasn't thinking that way. So, for example, the oil well. Lots and lots of oil here, right? Every single one of these, when it is created from this well, is earmarked for a specific destination. It is meant for a specific destination, and it is assigned to a route already. It's already there. And so, as it comes over here, and it drops into this harbor here, and into this thing, right? If it's already assigned, now they can be moved, okay? They can be moved. I don't know, if they're going to the same provider. So like, say, for example, you change your lines up and you make a boat go to the same exact producer or the same exact consumer, but it's a different line, they'll move those products to a different line, right? So they'll do that. But if you change the customer for those products, they will not change. They won't move to a new customer. They'll just vanish. And that's what happened to my bread, okay? So it used to be that on this route, Final Goods was responsible, in West Jordan, Final Goods was responsible for picking up food. And I decided to make a change that said, you know what? I can alter this route to bring goods over to San Antonio instead. So instead of that, I'm gonna make it to where Stone and Food, hence the name, food is gonna go with Stone and Food. And so I switched it to this, okay? Now, when I did that, I actually changed the customer for that food. Let me explain. When it was the other route, the boats were taking it all the way over to Riverside, which is when I click Riverside, I can see suppliers. It used to have numbers over here. Doesn't have that anymore, but it used to have a number here for that. And we were receiving supply of food right here. Now, there's no food producers here, okay? This is all grain. There's no food producers here. So how is Riverside getting food? It's getting it from this area over here. And it was getting it from there, and it was a whole bunch reserved for that over there when this river route for Final Goods, which takes it all the way over there and ends its route over there, was delivering it. But it no longer is. It's no longer doing that because that route no longer takes food. I changed it. So now that I'm taking it to Stone and Food to take the food, right? Now Stone and Food is gonna take the product. It's not gonna go over there because that route doesn't take it that far. It only takes it to Pittsburgh, which is my intended purpose. I want that food to go to Pittsburgh. But I wasn't thinking about that. And so the 320 something food that was sitting here, it was created, earmarked for a specific customer. It's not gonna just magically move over and be repurposed for Pittsburgh. So what's gonna happen to it? I don't know, they chucked it in the water. It just disappears, poof, gone. I lose it, right? And that doesn't bother me. I shouldn't think of that as me losing product because that's not my product. I'm paid to move it. I'm not paid to produce it or consume it, right? So I'm just the guy moving it. Since that food, that specific food, is no longer going to that customer, there's no reason for me to move it there, and therefore, poof, which sucks. So they moved the oil because I've now changed it to where this isn't going to grab oil anymore. And so they've moved the oil over to the other boats now. So now I have access to that. And that's because this oil was always going to the same customer. Those two lines were going to drop it off for this customer anyway at this specific dock. And so since that part hasn't changed, they'll move it to the other boat. That's part's no big deal. But when you change customers, that's a problem. Let's look at another way that this game has been screwing me over because of this mechanic that I wasn't aware of. As you know, my boats take oil to here. I just talked about that. But they also are supposed to be picking up wood at the West Jordan Exchange. And they're not doing so. In fact, they haven't been for like the last 5 years, and I just didn't notice it. There's no wood here. These trucks are ineffective. And they're supposed to be using Terminal 2, for example. And you can see there's no wood here. I just doubled the number of cars on this other route, so they're all kind of bunched together. They'll spread out. In any case, all the wood is over here instead. Now, why is that? It's not like they're not producing enough. They're overflowing. So why not assign the wood here? Well, because they don't want to. Remember, they are producing their own products. They are making contracts with their own consumers. They're going to determine who they ship to and how they do it. If I give them an option, they'll choose how they do it. So you don't want to give them an option. You want to say, this is the only way to get your product there, right? So let's take a look at this. Instead of shipping to this single customer, this is the only customer these guys have, consumers. There's only one customer, right? But this customer has a cheaper transport for these guys. It's cheaper for them to just let the trucks go take it directly there. Much cheaper for them to do that than it is to bring it to the shipping yard and have the ships bring it down here and then have another route take it to here. And so because this is more expensive for them, making me more money, by the way, because this is more expensive for them, they're not doing that. They're just shipping it to here. I don't know if it's actually making me more money, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to ship a product to somebody, you want to have cheaper shipping, especially if you're, sending a lot of it. And so that's the reason why they're only giving it to this land route. Ever since I created this land route, this boat route hasn't been working. So I have taken the river loop, for example, and when you get to the exchange, you are no longer picking up wood anymore. Now you're just going to load 50% oil. Now I'm still doing 50% oil because at the San Antonio port, I want them to be able to load the rest of their cargo in as tools so they could take them to Glendale. That was the whole reason for that. And then loading up on steel from there. So they're still going to stop here to pick up the tools, but they're no longer going to be delivering any wood, which means since they're not delivering wood here anymore, there's no reason for this San An tools loop and all of these vehicles. There's no reason for this to exist. These can all be repurposed for something else. Isn't that wonderful? So why don't we give, like, say 5 of these vehicles, and we'll go over to the wood to train route in San An. We'll have you do that, and then the rest of these guys, I could probably just sell them all. I don't need to maintain them anymore. I don't need to have them working anymore. We're gonna give them a purpose, but I could sell them if I wanted to. So anyway, that's how that customer thing works, right? And also, if in case you're wondering, is there a way I could repurpose these vehicles and still ship wood to multiple places from this guy, right? Yes and no. You can have multiple consumers from a raw producer, but not only are these guys going to decide who they ship their product to, and if you give them an option, how they ship it, but the people who consume, right, the businesses who consume products, they get to choose their suppliers as well. Remember, I'm not the guy running this. I'm just the dude that transports shit, okay? So they get to choose their suppliers as well, and they're gonna choose whoever's the cheapest supplier for them. So if I was to set up a route, for example, to send the second bay of this here, this second cargo area, if I was to choose to send wood to the train to be loaded up, it still wouldn't matter. They still would not provide any wood because these guys aren't going to buy it from these guys. They're already getting it from these guys. And it's cheaper for them to get it from here. Distance is shorter. So they're going to choose the best supplier for their needs, and therefore it still wouldn't work over here, okay? Because they already have it from there. So if I wanted that to happen, then what I'd have to do is just gut this route and make it to where this is the only supplier that would actually work. And I could do that because this infrastructure here is, just extra vehicles, and maybe it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's not a big deal, but I am seeing people kind of having to go through town to deliver this. And so I'm actually going to let this run a little bit, get some money to fix it. I know most of this video is talking right now, but I wanted to explain how I've sort of come up with a solution to a lot of these different problems. And I wanted to explain what my problems were and how I was going to fix them. And so that's what this video is kind of about. How am I fixing all these issues? Because if you get the same issues in your game and you're new to the game too, you could pay attention to these things because they're probably happening to you as well. Let's talk about food. Food was the core thing that made me look at this stuff, but this isn't any better. This makes it look like I've got lots of grain. Hey, cool, we're getting lots of grain coming in, right? So we should be having lots of food created, right? No. Take a look over here. They're not assigning the food to the port loop or the food loop here. And if I look at this side, they're not assigning any food here either. All of the food, well, all the grain, is assigned to this via West Jordan transfer. It's earmarked for something that no longer exists. Doesn't that suck? So what am I supposed to do with it? I mean, it should just, disappear like the stuff in the water, right? I have no idea why it's still there. All I know is that this thing's kind of bugged out. And I want to say that probably having two separate things here is probably unnecessary, and I probably shouldn't do it like this. So I'm going to do something pretty bold. I'm going to delete all of this and just make one big one, and everyone's going to use the one big one. I think that might clear up some stuff. But when I move routes around and change where vehicles are and all that stuff, it messes with things. And it's, I got two plastic in here that's kind of in limbo, and I have no idea what's going to happen with it. So what we're going to do for this, I need to get a delivery, and that's what this here is for. Unfortunately, it's a plastic delivery, but we can fix this. I'm going to take some of these vehicles that are on this port loop. I'm actually going to change it again. I'm going to take the ones that are over here. All this port food, which just so happens to be horses. We're going to upgrade them. Fine. Bring the plastic in. I mean, I need money to fix the problem anyway, right? So let's just bring the plastic in. And then as soon as I have the money, I will pause it again. There it is. Fix this. Now, all of these vehicles, I'm going to change this. I'm going to send all of you to the plastic to goods route that's right here. So now you're going to run plastic up this road. Now, I probably should have this be on this road instead, so that the plastic runners are using this street while the food runners are using this street. There's really no reason to have this way over here, but when I made this road didn't exist. So that's how I went with it. I'm gonna change a lot of that right now because this is not working at all for me. So first thing I wanna do is I need to make sure that this route that's taking goods here is actually running. Because again, they determine their suppliers. But they do that based on availability, and I have to make sure it's available. So, taking a look at plastic to goods, there's a problem with this line. At the port hold, we're being told to pick up the plastic. That's great, but what you're not being told to do is drop off goods. You gotta be unloading goods, otherwise I can't ship it there. I'm thinking of it from their perspective. Same thing with picking up goods over here, picking stuff up over here. Right now, we're being told to drop off the plastic. What we're not being told to do is pick up the goods. So we want to be able to pick up the goods as well. So that is now fixed. But where's the goods going? Where are the goods going, right? So the final goods boats, right? They're responsible for picking up goods, and they need to be able to deliver them somewhere. Well, I'm going to have them delivered to the San Antonio port. So if I click this, oh, right. You're still on unloading wood. So unload goods. Okay. That changes the dynamic. We now have a means of bringing product here, picking up the goods, dropping it off here, picking up the goods here, and dropping it off over here. But what we still don't have is a means of getting the goods from this port over into San Antonio. So let's fix that now. We're going to go into unload, and we can see all the goods are right here, and this is where we're going to be ultimately delivering them. And I think probably we'll do it right here on the corner. It does reach these guys, so that works. And I'm going to create a new line that's called our San An, and this is going to be goods delivery route. I'm actually going to do it as a loop because I'm going to have these guys pick up tools as well. So goods and tools loop. because I have so many people on this back and forth loop here, but because we're going to be taking these guys away from the dock route over here, it's going to create a situation where there's not anybody to take the tools and bring them to the dock. And I'm trying to get paid for every single direction of the route, right? I'm trying to do that with my cars as best as I can. And I've been doing a very good job, but I'm trying. So we're going to change this to there. And then this route is going to be from this spot, for which you are going to pick up goods. That's important. And drop off tools. Okay. Then you're going to go here. You will end up unloading everything because it's just an unload spot. So you'll unload everything. You'll be empty. Then you're going to head over here and you're going to pick up the tools from here. You're not going to unload anything. Pick up tools. So this part here is the only unpaid part of this route. But I don't like how it's zigzagging through town. So we're also going to make a change to the roads over here as well. I'm going to grab this street. It's the same size street, right? Let's go like this. We'll pick this one up about like that. Pick this one up about like that. I'm sort of just accelerating what was already going to happen, pretty much. And then we'll connect this before the rail and connect this like so. Now that loop will go up this way and it still zigzags to there. Well, I mean, you know, actually it doesn't matter now that I look at it again. It doesn't actually matter because this is all industry anyway. The residential part's over here. So that's actually fine. Go ahead, do that. But the good thing is that now that route is going to take a more direct route in like this instead of going around like that. So it's fine. It doesn't have to cross this train. It just has to cross this train. So it's still a crossing there, but whatever. Anyway, so I've now created the loop that's going to do that. So now all of you who are on this other route, this tools loop, that's supposed to be bringing wood from here, then this and back. That loop is no longer needed. So we're going to manage vehicles, and this whole thing is now going to change to being where is it? That goods and tools loop. All right. Now that means that all of those goods now have a means of being brought in, and it also means that the Santa Ana tools loop is no longer required. We can just get rid of that. And if I take a look at the goods, where is it? Santa Ana goods and tools loop. I feel like I don't. Let's do this. I found that this little button here is awesome. I can get the list to just be only what's in range of my camera, right? So I don't have to search for it anymore. I like that. I think this is already too many vehicles, so I'm actually going to sell this many. I don't need that many vehicles. All right. So now we're set. We're good there. We've created the entire loop to get goods to San Antonio. So with that done, I should now see these guys create the goods from the plastics that are being delivered to them. And we now have a ton of vehicles, hopefully, on this route so that I can get that plastic out of here as fast as possible, right? Plastic to goods. We have a lot of vehicles that are going to be doing this now. So I want to get these out of here as fast as I can, because as this grain pulls in right now, it's going to overfill this because there's nowhere for it to go. And now the new stuff is getting assigned, but some of the old stuff is still going here. And I don't know why it's doing that. So I got to figure that out too. Another thing that's happening is that we have multiple catchments for these different guys, right? This technically has 3, and that's confusing things too. So we're going to change that. But this also has 2, and we don't want that either. So we're going to get rid of this one because it is not necessary anymore. And we're going to keep this one because this one's also being used for other deliveries that go through town this direction, like bringing food to town. So we don't need this one anymore. We're going to get rid of it. Goodbye. And that means that that other route here has no method, no means of getting here because the West Jordan halt is gone. So their route now needs to be added over here. And they can use any one of these other platforms, I guess, but we can always create additional platforms on this side, and we probably should if we want to have 2 routes here. But there's no reason to have 2 routes here. There really isn't. You just have everybody on the same loop because these guys are just going back and forth here. So are these. there's really no reason to have 2 of these anyway. They're the same route. Just assign the vehicles to the other route. So we're going to take these, and if we had vehicles, we would do that, but we don't have vehicles. So thankfully, that just means I can now remove this route entirely. Goodbye. Same route. All right. Hopefully that will clear that up. Now, stone right now is being brought in here, and that's also probably a problem. We can now make it to where it comes in over here anyway. What I'd like to do to start these shenanigans off is I'd like to get rid of the excess storage in which all of this food is coming in on. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. And that means that we're going to be running pretty lean for a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to be running just like it is. I need to make sure that the platform still exists, but I actually do want this stuff to disappear. Now that means we're getting paid for the shipment of grain to here, but we're actually not getting paid for anything else that has this. All of these vehicles temporarily are costing us money. I could just say, hey, port food vehicles, how about you do me a solid and just kind of go to depot? And all they go, and they're just all gonna go to depot now. That's gonna clear up the road a little bit so that I can clear this up, all right? So we should see a whole lot of vehicles heading to depot now, and we can reassign them as needed. We probably don't even need as many as we had, but yeah, we're gonna assign them as needed. So what I wanna see now are, these guys are all heading for depot, yep. What I wanna see now is we have the crude oil people are still moving through here, and that seems to be fine. There's nothing reserved in this weird method here, at least for now. But I would like to move the stone over to the side too. So I'm going to configure, no, I'm not. I'm gonna create a whole new one actually. We're gonna wipe this from the face of the earth. This entire thing is gonna get deleted. And we're gonna make a brand new one is what we're gonna do. In fact, I'm gonna do that now. We're just gonna make it now so I can configure it. We're gonna say that I want the truck station. It's gonna be a very long one. We're gonna have 2 platforms on the left and 2 platforms on the right. Do I need that? Let me see. Goods uses 1, stone uses 1, food uses 1, oil uses 1. 4. That's good. So we're gonna have 4 of them. They're gonna be like this. I'm going to turn it this direction, and we'll have a high-speed road that brings it right in here. I would like it to be as close to everything as possible. So ideally, we would like to place it probably in the exact same position as this is. But since I don't have the ideal, we're gonna go just a little bit off the center here. And I think actually what we'll do is we'll just place it right on the damn road. Yeah, as long as it's, yeah, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way right here. We're gonna take this road away. Take this road away like this. Okay. And we're gonna say that we want a big one right here. And I don't want it close enough to get encatchment for this. So we're gonna place it, I think, right about here. And we want it to be long. We need it to have a lot of stuff. So I mean, I kind of probably should back this up even more. Right? And then we'll build it kind of like this. And maybe I'll start it on this side. That way I can make it as long as I want at this point. So we'll say about, I think maybe about here. Let's do it about here. So that's a big boy. All right, that's a big one right there. So we'll go into streets. I'll make it doesn't need to be a big street here. It could be a little one. It just needs to be connected. So that's what we're doing there. Get rid of this little bit because we don't need that. Now it looks okay. Nope, still looks bad, but whatever. And then on this side, we'll configure this. We're going to make these street connections, but before we do that, I'm gonna extend this thing. Because stone, we're gonna bring in a lot of that. Yep, there we go, there we go. Is this a waste? Maybe, could be. But I'm gonna do it anyway. There it is, right there. And then I want a street access point right there. All right. We can also do a street access on this side and this side so that they all come in on their own respective sides. I suppose that could spread things out, so we'll just do street access points on both of these sides. But before I get too much in debt, I do need to reconnect this. Otherwise, there won't be a connection to this, which isn't technically a big deal. Well, yes, it is, because it's no longer connected to the dock. It needs to be connected to the dock. So we'll just say real quick, go like that, and now it's connected to the dock for now. And now, as long as this is in range of that, yeah. So we're gonna use this as our shipping hub instead of this nonsense here. This is gonna look way better when we're done. I just need to have money, and you know what? We're just gonna do this just so I can have it done now. I want to do it now. So hopefully they're bringing all the plastic. I want to see them leaving with plastic. Yep. Yep. You're on the oil rod anyway. Yep. Everybody's leaving with plastic. Good. Get it up here because I don't want to waste any of this. I want to get as many goods created as possible. And you can see that the goods is already being created. So I want to make sure that these goods end up on this one. Okay. So manage the line. And we're not going to go to the hold anymore. Instead, we're going to go here. And we're going to change this to the West Jordan port. This is the main, this is just, screw this hold and all this nonsense, right? This is the West Jordan port. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to drop off the goods here. Now, we're not going to tell you to load plastic here yet because there won't be any. So you're just going to load it here, and then you're going to go back to this location and get the plastic. And that's what you're going to do for now. So let's just, I guess, delete this. Probably should have done this a different direction or a different way, but fine. Same thing as you did before. You're going to load plastic, unload. No, you're not going to unload goods. Now, what that might do is invalidate these goods, but I don't think it will just because it's still going to this port. It's still going to the same destination. I think it's still connected, but we'll see. The important thing is I want goods to come in here. And I think I want the goods to end up maybe... we're going to have food and oil here. Food here. Goods can be here. And then we'll do the stone on this side. I think that's a good way to do it. So we'll have the... this road will end up connecting this way too. We'll have a big, thick 4-lane road right here that just takes people. And I think I might actually bring it that way because... significantly more cars are coming from that direction than from that direction. So I think we're just gonna bring that road straight through here. Let's go ahead and have the port to brick route. We're going to manage this line, and I want to have instead of port hold, we'll do it as the waypoint actually. Add this station. We're gonna make sure that you're using dock 1 for the stone. Yep. We actually could have goods on the side. Let's have stone be... let's have stone be in 2. And then we'll change the other route to be... We'll have the other route can bring the goods to 1. Yeah, we'll put goods over here. That way because we can make this road go like that. We want to make sure it's outside of catchment, though. But... we can do it like that because these things can't share a catchment zone. So like we can make it a catchment. That's supposed to be fine just because this other one here does exist, but we still need that other one. Or I suppose we could just put that other one on this road. That's probably what I'll do actually, because the shipping from to the train is really not that different going to here than it is to going to there. So I'll probably just move that to here. And then that will be closer. Either way, though, I think goods are going to be on that side. Okay, so we have that. Next, we want the line that is going to be... this is a food delivery line, which is just this right here. So that's not important. Port food is what we're doing. And instead of going to hold 1, you are now going to get your food from this port. And you're going to get it from terminal 3. So you'll end up going through here. We'll have stone and food going through here, and then the oil will go through this part here too. And we could have different entrances and stuff as well. So, I mean, it's possible that instead of coming in on this side, they're not really technically getting in each other's way. The goods and the stone are. I just don't want the food and the oil because that's a pretty high traffic area there, bringing all that stuff in. So I kind of want them to not be doing that. But I think this is going to be fine. We're going to say unload food and load grain from here. Okay. And that takes this out of the equation. So they shouldn't be going here anymore, right? Not for food anyway. All the food that gets delivered, There's probably some that are still earmarked or whatever, so that might get put in limbo, but it's gonna be a little bit of pain for a little bit of time, but I think it'll work itself out, basically. We want to make a big road through here eventually, so for now we'll just take this small country road just so that I can, as cheap as possible, just do this. That didn't adjust the route. Okay, I thought it might adjust the route. Final thing then, it'd be the oil. Crude to port right here. We're going to say instead of going to hold 1, you go here. And you're going to use bay 4. And you're going to, same thing, you just unload your oil here. And you don't do it here anymore. This is all completely nonsense. Goodbye. That's the route now. You bring the oil here now. Okay? Is there anything else to do for this other than extending it, which I don't know if I'm done extending it yet. I might put some cargo buildings on the sides to give it extra storage, but this should theoretically be enough. I just don't know that it is. So we'll see. And then all the plastic appears to be gone. Yeah. Well, it says there's 75 plastic here, but I don't know why it would be. I mean, this is going to be painful. We're gonna lose product here, but it's just the way it is. And then this will create, right? I don't know if it actually has a shipment route yet, so we'll see. It's got goods. Goods should be getting delivered here. There's the plastic. It was already delivered here. Fantastic. Plastic is fantastic. Come on. Who knows the pop culture references all around? In any case, we've got that. And I think I'm ready to just ditch this now. We'll just sacrifice the rest of this stuff. I would like the stone, right? I would like the stone to do this, but I want them to start picking up stone from here anyway. So the longer I leave this up, the more stone is going to get delivered to the wrong one. Where's my next stone boat? All right, is one of you guys... You're all heading that direction. This is a good time then. Yeah. All right, that's a plastic boat. Where's my stone boat? Whoa. Stone boat is... Do I only have one stone boat? I could have swore I had 2 stone boats. All right, hold on. I know I have 2. I have more than 1 stone boat, don't I? I have 2 stone boats. Huh. Well, I probably want more than that anyway. So let's. We should probably get another. We should probably get another one, right? So we have another boat dock here, and I don't know if I duplicate. I don't know if it's gonna duplicate it at the nearest or whatever. So I'll just do it here. We do have more boats available now. This is a gigantic oil tanker. We probably should start thinking about going to big boats. I think it might be worthwhile. We get more storage than the change in maintenance, so it's probably a good idea to do that. I just haven't quite gotten to the point where I want to upgrade all my ports yet, because it's 500 grand each, and you know, every single port that I'm going to dock it to, pickup and delivery, need to be upgraded. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ports so far will need to be upgraded. That's $3 million. I literally couldn't upgrade all the ports right now if I wanted to. And then even if I could, it would take all the money and I wouldn't be able to upgrade the boats. So it's not quite time for that yet. But I am kind of hesitant-ish about buying new small boats. And maybe I'll start putting my money into bigger boat docks as we go. I think I'm ready to just ditch this now, though. You almost have enough. I think it's time for you to leave. We need the oil to go. I think we just lost a ton of oil, too. Yeah, all the oil that was here is just gone now. I don't know. Whatever. They're bringing oil to a different one now, right? So at least they should be. All this is probably earmarked and messed up. So, yeah. It's probably all messed up now. Well, it'll work itself out. It just takes a very long time to do. So I think... There's only 39 plastic in here now. Most of the plastic is over here. Port to brick. I'm not sure why port to brick would be... Wait a minute. Why would port to brick? Right. Load stone only. Unload I don't think you were unloading anything, right, before. What was your route before? Yeah, you were just picking up stone here. Get this out of here. You don't do that anymore. All your stone should be here now. And you go to the exchange. You drop it off. You unload the stone, and then you come back. And you come back through this way so that you don't interfere with this. So you're just picking up stone here. Yeah. All right. So that should take care of that. I don't know why that... There's the stone. It was just... Looks like it was just moved. Perfect. Oh. That's just awesome. So we have now our food loop. We know the food loop's going to do this. And I think we're ready to just ditch this. So I'm going to take this out of here. Goodbye. Take this out of here. Goodbye. I'm going to start deleting a whole lot of roads. And let's fix this whole thing completely now. So we've got all of these roads are gone. All these roads. So roads. Vehicle in the way. All right. Sorry, sir. I ain't got time for that. Kind of messed up his connections, didn't I? All these guys are stranded. That's okay. We're going to take a big road. This is 50-mile-an-hour road. I like it. Can I? Yeah, street connection. That's okay. Do we want to increase this anymore, though? Can we increase this, I guess? Do I want to grow this any more than it already is? For more cargo space. Like, I can make this even bigger if I really wanted to. You can make this like that. Store all sorts of cargo there. And we don't want to get too close because then it'll start getting in this catchment. So I think that's probably fine. So we'll get street access here. I don't really think we need multiple. I'm going to do it anyway. We'll do multiple points of street access. And then we'll say that we want to do big road to there. To there. Big road to there. And everybody's coming in is going to do that. We want to have another road. We can bring that in. I think I'm just going to connect it like this, actually. So I just want to have different ways of getting in. It's not really that different of a way, is it? Because if they have to go down this road anyway, then it defeats the purpose of this. So I guess we'll change this to be like this. Now, hopefully that's far enough away to where it's not... Let's see, does that highlight? No, it does not. So that's not in catchment. Perfect. Then we can move this down like this. This one can shift over. There's nothing in there right now, so it's the perfect time to do so. Let's go ahead and grab this. We can make this just one on the left. It can be small too, but I think I'll make it 20 just because there's a chance we might have goods back up at some point. And yeah, if it does back up, I'll want to know it. So we want this to be close, but not too close to... this is probably fine. It's like 130,000 though. Can we do this cheaper, please? Can we maybe do it cheaper? Maybe on this side? No? Well, whatever. I guess we'll just do it. 115, I guess. It's really expensive, but it's fine. All right, we need plastic to goods. You are going to change now. It is a little bit further, admittedly, than it was, but this is much closer here to deliver the plastic and the goods to the port. It's much closer that way, so we'll do that. So this plastic to goods line, we're no longer going to take it to goods production here. We're instead going to create a new station there. That's what that one's going to be called. And then we can eliminate that from the route. And now everything goes between... Now everything goes between the port and this. This is our loop now, and it looks pretty good. It's going to keep the traffic, I think, out of the way. They should drop it off here, but then they have to go that way to get out, right? And so what we could do then, just to kind of give them a method, I guess, to get out of here maybe faster, they're going to have to cross this path, which is... I didn't really want them to do that. What if I did this? Can I give street connections on this side? Yes, but is it a big deal if they have to cross paths here? We'll see. If it is, then I'll adjust it, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be fine for now. And then give me another road here so I can keep the oil traffic off of this road. We're gonna go that way with it. So more direct in that direction. 29, hello. Look at this difference in cost between doing there and there. That's a huge difference in cost. Wow. So, I mean, it does look more organized, albeit if this was a straight line, it would be even better, right? But yeah, I know, right? I know. You have to do it, right? It's just like the goal. It's the rules now. Set it, so you have to do it. There we go. Now, the worst thing that could happen is that leads to this being catchy, but it's not. It's still out of range. Okay. So now I can eliminate this. I don't need this anymore. Bye. I think I've fixed the port. Of course, I will have to let everything run, but I think I fixed the port. So now, port to food. Manage vehicles. We need to bring those vehicles back in, don't we? Come here, vehicles. All the food's out of here now. We should hopefully see things aren't like stalled out now. Resources aren't dinking around. This port to brick should not be there. It should get moved over to the plastic to goods. I really hope that happens. And then now we have all of these. You can all go to work on your port. Where is it? Palm. Where is it? West Jordan, of course. Port food done. Unable to path to stop. Interesting. What have I done? Port food. Let's see. Okay. So the hold is gone. Well, bye. Now it's just this. And again, you drop off food, pick up grain, and then you pick up food, drop off this. That seems really straightforward. You get paid in both directions. It should be really good. Shouldn't have a problem here, depending on, of course, deliveries now. But port food, go. That is now your route. Off you go. Please do good things now. Now, of course, we're still getting the food delivered on food delivery, but we're gonna stop. We're gonna kind of run out of grain here soon. So this army of trucks is gonna take this big thick boy road all the way over, and it does get thinner here. And I think I would like to maybe, if there's a way to do this, I would like to make this thick all the way. So I'd like to maybe see if we can't do this. I don't know if this is going to, yeah, if it says vehicles in the way, sorry. I'm sorry about that, sir. Goodbye. Oh, there's more than one vehicle in the way. Well, how about this? We just temporarily we'll go ahead and connect because we want this to be big and thick anyway. So we'll go this way with it, and then we wrap around. I want to get a little bit. I want to get close to this. I want to do that actually. So for now, we'll do this. Just get this truck out of the way. There you go. Get out of the way. Okay, gone. And then gone. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take this big, thick road, right? And we're going to connect about there and then straight over like this. I guess it should be... Okay, it's going to curve a little bit, all right? There's nothing I can... Just leave it alone. It's fine. It's gonna curve a little bit. It don't matter. It don't matter. That's it. So now all these guys can just go straight over. They got a 2-lane road here. Feel free to use both lanes any minute now. Big old highway that can go 50 on this. As we get bigger vehicles that can go faster, they can travel faster, they can do everything can be done faster. It's gonna be great until it gets to here, and then everything slows right down. But they can at least split if they want to. Maybe I should upgrade this. I would have to delete it before I can upgrade it. So I'm all right with that, actually. This food delivery area is going to be used a lot, so I'm going to upgrade it. Yep. So let's go ahead and real quick just change a couple of things here. I know I'm like tearing the whole system down at this point, man. Just like, hey, you know, burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground. Okay, there. Now, come back over, and we'll do a... See, the problem is the large street, for some reason, it's got a speed limit of 37. Where the large country road, you can go 50. So it's like, there's no reason to, you know... It just doesn't seem to be like a reason to use the country road unless I want it for looks, which is, you know, not what I'm going for here. So I want lots of connections though. Oh, come on, give me lots of connections right through here. Yeah, yep, like this. There you go, like that. And then to there. Good. So that's a big old thick boy road. But it needs to be able to connect here, of course. So we want a street connection like that. Excellent. And then we have the entrance and exits that are specific. So entrance goes there and entrance goes here. And then the exits are on this side and there's a street connection on there if they want to exit that direction. Okay, I've upgraded all the roads now. Now I need to figure out what this is. Line contains too few stations. West Jordan, steel to goods. Line contains too few stations. Ah, well, right, because this is lower West Jordan, and now you need to go to here instead. That's why. Now, I could give you a more direct route if I take this and connect it, then but you're still going through the residential zone. I don't want you doing that. So I think what we'll do is create a new road that takes you away from the residential area. And we can do that by, let's go like this with it. We'll say bricks are gonna be on this side. Okay, and then we'll say that the cargo area for steel will actually be over here now. All right, we'll make that even longer. We'll say steel is on this side now. So we can see steel to goods, you're gonna use at the lower West Jordan. We're gonna change this actually to West Jordan cargo. West Jordan cargo station. And I want you to use 2 for steel. And that way steel is here. So bricks are still gonna do this. They have to go that way. I've given them a route that takes them around away from the residential area. And then you guys are gonna use this new road out this way. We're gonna create a street access point for you on the back here so that you can go this way. Okay. And then what you'll do is you can take, kind of want to do a country road sort of thing because there's no reason to do streets right here. So we're going to take, it's a really fast. There's no reason to do that. Let's make that smaller. Yeah, we'll make this smaller. We'll take a country road around the back side here like this and then straight this direction, which is very expensive, but I have the money now, so we should do it now. I'm going to go up above the hill. We're going to raise this up so it's not so expensive. There it goes. And then we're going to go like this and raise the middle up a little bit there. And nah, we'll just go a little bit at a time. It's fine. 26. And then we'll go down a little bit, 15. And then straight over like this. Let's raise it up a little bit in the middle. There we go. And then over this direction, we can sink it down in the middle. Nope. Right here, sink it down in the middle, 22. And then straight over like this, maybe sink it down in the middle again. And we now go to there. Okay, so they have an alternate route that they can now grab the steel and they can go this way with it now. And that's gonna be a lot, I think a lot better for them. So steel to goods now goes completely out of the city. They have a direct route to bring steel to that manufacturing facility. Bricks still goes and swerves, but this is residential. This is the business district, so that's okay. And then of course we need to deliver the things that they desire, which is going there. So now nobody's going through residential, right? And this is also a faster road than this is, so they can go faster now too. All right, no warnings is what it says. Now, the real question is, are we going to get food delivered here, right? Is it going to happen? I don't know. We'll find out. Obviously, we're gonna have a lot of vehicles doing a lot of nothing for a little bit here until the food gets delivered. But I am at least seeing goods. I'm at least seeing bread delivered here, right? That's at least has to happen. And whether or not we get goods delivered is another matter entirely. But I also think we should configure this. This side should get cargo on this side, and we should deliver, I think, the steel on one end and the other stuff on the other end. So the plastic to goods, we're gonna have you use bay 2, And that way steel will use a different one than you do. You guys can, again, stay out of each other's way. And so that way these guys will come in and only use this side. You guys will come in on this way and use this side. I think that's going to be way more efficient. But for right now, there's just nothing there because like all these products were reserved for other places, and it's just like we don't have them yet, and it takes time for the boats to come in and just all that stuff. But as long as I see shipment, and I am seeing shipment, at least for now, I don't know if I'm going to see plastic though, because the plastic is still reserved for the brick. It needs to not be. See what I'm saying? It's just really weird how that happens. It needs to not do that. I'm wondering if I did adjust this, right? So that they don't take that anymore. Yeah, they only take stone. So maybe it'll eventually go away. I don't know. You can see it's right there. We can, individual routes have individual lines now, so I can physically see what's in place for those specific places. But again, it's going to take a very long time for this, the shipments to come in and everything. So where are the boats? This boat has grain. We can see what happens with this grain. Does it end up going to the correct location now, right? That boat's got to get here. We've got stone coming in. We got to see if that stone goes to the right spot. And then also more grain coming in on this boat. So it's just going to take time, but I think we've fixed it. So now food should be arriving here. It should be, oh, this looks wonderful. It looks wonderful to see this spread. It's like, yes, thank you. Thank you for the spread. About time, okay? But does the stone route, right? Are you taking oil now? Right? You're gonna take oil. You're unloading stone, you take oil and food. You shouldn't be doing oil anymore. I think you're gonna load up entirely on food now. That's what you're doing. So no more oil for you. So let's see what happens if I do that. Does the oil disappear? Does it move over? Right? It's supposed to. I don't know. Actually, the route probably still calls for this. So are you unloading oil? You're not going to... I don't think you're even going to stop here anymore. You can just go straight through. You don't even need this anymore. That's gone. You just go straight to San Antonio and you are going to drop off. This is totally incorrect. This is totally incorrect. Maybe we... Yeah, this route is actually really screwed. I need to fix this. So stone is going to unload stone from West Jordan. Then you pick up the food. And I guess we could just take it down the river. We don't need to stop in San Antonio at all. Because there's no reason to stop. I mean, the only reason to do it would be to load... Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the oil, but the oil can be loaded by the other two boats. This is just about providing brick. So I think this is actually fine to just go straight to Pittsburgh from here. Make this a simple route, right? You unload food in Pittsburgh, right? You need to unload food. If that box isn't checked, honestly, I don't know if it was because I had it all, but if this box is not checked, then it wouldn't matter anyway. So we drop off stone, we pick up food, and then we drop off the food, we pick up stone. That's the only thing these two boats are doing. So we should see it did. It repurposed. Perfect. Because it's all going to the same customer anyway. So now the stone boats are just going to be very simple. There's only 2 of them anyway. Very simple. And we can expand that as we go. But now I need to wait for the other boats to get here. So let's wait for that to happen. And we'll see if we fixed everything. I'll be right back. It's working. It's working. Oh, they got food in. And look, it's assigned to a route even. Isn't that great? Yes, it is. That's the answer. Yes, it is. It's going to be so much better. And, you know, now I can just assign the number of vehicles that I actually need rather than just kind of saying, hey, I'm going to have a whole bunch of them, because having a whole bunch of them was good, except for the part where the stuff wasn't getting delivered. And probably it was the right amount of vehicles, to be honest. But we'll see. I might be completely wrong on that, and now I can test it more properly. I'm going to start being a little bit more efficient with things, because it was costing me a lot of money. And you can see now we're just, we're swimming in dough now. We got blue numbers on road networks. We haven't had that in forever, so that's pretty good. And I think everything is going to start working out now. We got more grain coming in on this boat. Well, if we start filling up here, right? Because this delivery is gonna just go bang, 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 bang right here. So if we start filling up, I can just add more vehicles, and it does look, in fact, like I do need more vehicles, which I have a whole bunch more vehicles. They're still in here. I'm just trying to see whether or not I actually need to use them or not. So we're going to say, how about we employ this many more to go out and help and see if this is enough. Port food, go ahead. We'll see if this is enough. Of course, you load up on oil, and where is it? A little bit slow there. Final Goods is getting all the oil right now, that's happening again. So we'll see. I would like to see this a bit more evenly distributed, please, but so far that's what's happening. It's okay. Nobody's waiting, so. But, getting a bigger boat would probably be a good idea. And maybe the Final Goods route, because it's getting so much oil. We could get a bigger tanker. A big tanker to just take the oil. We could say oil tanker, go from here to here. And then that big oil tanker brings it all the way down to processing. Probably down to Wichita Falls, which has quite a bit. I mean, we could have certainly more. We need to upgrade all of our trains. Let's talk about that, actually. So it's 1902, and in 1902, we get access to bigger trains. We have the 442 Atlantic now. This sucker pulls a lot of stuff. It can go to 62 miles per hour, and because of 1900, I was waiting for this, right? 1900 gives us access to not just these, but now we get bigger ones, and these bigger ones can travel 50 miles per hour. So our trains can now be even faster. So I want to alter one of our trains. We can go 50 on these now. So I'm going to say, and you can notice also we don't have a whole lot of oil here. We did just leave, but these are tuned kind of pretty good. The thing is, though, if I get bigger trains, I can then push more oil into them. So we have the joint sort of here, transport millionaire, right? Accumulate a fortune of 1 million. Apparently that's because, so my total evaluation after debt, right? So I do want to upgrade my trains, but we could take this debt down substantially, just a little bit. I do want to hold some money because I need to complete that rail line over there. But I think there's merit in upgrading this train over here and maybe getting some more. So this oil refinery has not upgraded yet, even though all of these guys are bringing stuff to it from these different oil wells, and it's getting dumped. Some of this oil is actually getting taken to that fuel refinery. So we do need to increase the number of vehicles that are bringing us oil so that we can increase how much we're refining. So let's see if there is any merit. Are there upgrades for these vehicles? We don't yet have an upgrade for that vehicle. Just the horses for now. We do have 9 passenger carriages and stuff we could get to, but that's a little pricey. It's still pretty slow too. I'm gonna hold off on that. Still no new cars, unfortunately. So the only thing we could do here is to increase the number of vehicles on the road for this. So we will. We're gonna double it. We'll have double the cars over here, bringing this stuff in, and we can haul more. That would be nice. Where's our route taking it? Yeah, Newport Oil Refined. I think this is actually the route. We probably, now that we're going to have more oil, we probably should have a couple more vehicles on this route too. Let's just go ahead and get 4 more there. And if we can get more oil delivered here, I'll upgrade the train, right? It's about how much we can provide. There's no reason to go faster if we're going to have to stop here and wait anyway, right? There's just not enough oil waiting. 38 oil waiting, that's not enough. So we're gonna get more. And to be honest, maybe I just take that rail all the way and drop it right here and have this be directly in catchment and just say, oh, look, the oil goes directly to the train. We could do that too. It's something to look at. Okay, this video's gone on long enough. I hope you guys can see I've fixed a lot of problems here. We've got routes that are just waiting. Cars are now being told to wait until there's goods. Imagine that. I wasn't doing that before because it was going to slow down other things, but now, since everyone has it at their own place, yeah, I'm going to do that. We're going to have them wait. So if there's nothing to pick up, they'll just sit here, which means they should always be running full. This is an oil train. Well, not the oil path. Everything else should be running, so you should always be running with a full load. Every single one of these stupid cars. Apparently, we don't have any food to bring in anyway, so I guess they're still coming back empty-handed, but this is the port loop. What is this? You're going from oil to here. What is this line? I don't think this has any... I don't think we need this anymore. Pick up oil and unload... What is this? I think there's some miscommunication here. You are now on the port food loop. Enjoy that. And whatever that port loop was, whatever this was with those 3 vehicles, I don't think there's a reason for it to exist anymore. Like, we must have taken away the stop that it was doing. I don't know. Either way, it's gone now. And so we can now have oil not brought to the food processing plant. See what I'm saying? There were some problems, and I think I've gotten to the part where I'm fixing them. You are just not loading oil, right? We just have so much oil here, you're not loading it. So that might be something to look at too, is to why is this not getting any of the oil? It's supposed to be half full of oil. We could just bring it full, I guess. It's not, just fill up, right? Maybe that's why. Maybe there's no demand because I haven't told it to fill up. I don't know. There just should be oil in this. We're gonna have you go to the exchange now. Yeah, you have a maximum wait time. There is at least that. But yeah, and so we have cars coming through, and I think it's starting to pile up a little bit. I think more vehicles on this route is gonna be necessary, and I do want to see food delivered here. I haven't seen that yet. I don't know if it's no. Let's see the consumers as West Jordan. We're not delivering it to we're not delivering it to the port yet, so I might need to look at food delivery for final goods. Let's take a look. No, you're actually... No, it's the stone route. The stone route is taking food now. Yeah, from the West Jordan port, you take food 100% and you deliver it to Pittsburgh. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And there shouldn't be... Unless... Final goods. Are you being told to take food? No. Okay. Who else is being told? I mean, maybe the food supplier just simply doesn't want to ship it there. Maybe they're just content with being like, hey, you know, we got enough customers in West Jordan. We don't need to ship it anywhere. Which, I mean, they're almost meeting the needs. So that could be it. We maybe just need to produce more food, which is what we're going to be doing soon. We're going to be taking all this stuff. Look at it. It's gone. It's gone. Yay, it's gone. And new plastic is arriving. I haven't been able to test that yet. These guys have been waiting for plastic. Let's have them wait for this. I do have them waiting a minimum time because if there are goods being made, I want them to bring it here, right? But they wait for a little bit of time for that plastic to arrive, which should be here now. What happened? Oh, you know what it is? I think it's just one of those things where that plastic was earmarked for something else. So we just have to wait for it to time through. But you can see it's fixed. We're making money. Everything is blue across the board now. I'm happy. That's it. Thanks for watching. Next video, I promise, next video, we're taking the rail from Winston-Salem through Syracuse and Riverside. We're going to do that, okay? That's going to be the next video. So if you're waiting for more rail construction, that's it. That's where we're going with it. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.